Raider Nation! Hold on to your silver and black hearts, because the winds of change are howling through Allegiant Stadium, and they're bringing a storm of raw emotion, high stakes, and maybe, just maybe, the dawn of a new era. We're talking about a seismic shift on defense, a make-or-break moment for a young player carrying the weight of massive expectations, and an unheard-of whisper from a ghost of the past that could shake the very foundations of this franchise. Can you feel the tension building, the anticipation in the air, the fear mixed with a potent cocktail of hope? This isn't just another off-season, Raider Nation. This is the off-season where destinies are forged and legends are either born or broken. Our defensive coordinator, the brilliant mind orchestrating our attack, has just pulled off a move that has everyone scratching their heads. 3 elite playmakers for essentially one key position? What in the world is the plan here? And speaking of big question marks, our former top draft pick, a player with all the physical gifts in the world but struggling to find his footing, is staring down the barrel of the most critical season of his young career. Will he finally unleash the beast within, or will he become another cautionary tale? But hold on, it gets even crazier. Just when you thought you'd heard it all, a voice from the depths, a name that brings a mix of heartbreak and what-ifs, has surfaced with a declaration that will send shockwaves through the entire league. This isn't just about football anymore, folks. It's about redemption, forgiveness, and the very soul of our team. So buckle up, Raider Nation. Like this post, smash that comment button, and subscribe to our channel, because we're about to dive deep into the thrilling, heart-pounding saga that is your Las Vegas Raiders. What exactly is the master plan on defense? Will our highly touted young pass rusher finally explode onto the scene? And who is this mysterious figure from our past? And what audacious claim has he made that will leave you absolutely stunned? You have to hear this. All right, Raider Nation, let's rip off the Band-Aid and talk about the heart of our defense. Remember that head-scratching move that left us all wondering what the silver and black was brewing? Well, the brilliant mind behind our defensive scheme, Coach Pete Carroll, just dropped a bombshell, explaining the strategy behind bringing in a third top-tier linebacker. We all saw the surprise on draft day when we landed a former Bengals standout coming off a career-best 143-tackle season. I'm talking about the beast, Germaine Pratt. This was a curveball, wasn't it? We already signed Landon Roberts for that crucial middle linebacker spot and snagged Devin White to wreak havoc on the outside. Most of us were thinking, are we hoarding linebackers now? But Coach Carroll, with that signature cool and collected demeanor, laid it all out. He confirmed what many dared to hope for. These 3 gladiators, these absolute bruisers, are not just competing for one spot. Oh no, Raider Nation, they might just be playing together. Imagine that, a loaded-up group. Carroll praised Pratt as a hard-nosed kid, tough kid, played a lot of football, really healthy, has played all the positions to give us flexibility. He then doubled down, saying, "We've been really pleased with Landon Roberts. He did a great job taking over the leadership position, and Devin White has done a really nice job too. Put these 3 guys together when they're on the field at the same time, that's a loaded-up group. They're all tough, they're all physical, they're all downhill players, which is the style that we love to play with." This isn't just depth, Raider Nation. This is a defensive revolution. This is about suffocating opposing offenses, flying to the ball, and bringing a physicality that strikes fear into the hearts of our rivals. Pratt now has 6 weeks, 6 short weeks, to integrate himself into this new brotherhood before training camp kicks off in late July. The excitement is palpable. The question isn't if our defense will be dominant, but how dominant. But before we get too carried away, there's another critical piece of our defense, a former top pick who needs to prove he belongs. Will he rise to the occasion or fade into the silver and black shadows? The answer might surprise you. And just when you thought the intensity couldn't get any higher, Raider Nation, let's turn our attention to a player whose potential is as vast as the desert sky, but whose impact has been, let's be honest, less than the roaring tempest we expected. We're talking about the 7th overall pick from the 2023 NFL Draft, our very own edge rusher, Tyrie Wilson. 2 full seasons have come and gone, and the dominant force we envisioned bursting through offensive lines and terrorizing quarterbacks has shown only glimpses. Flashes of brilliance, yes, but not the consistent, game-wrecking presence we drafted him to be. The whispers have been getting louder. Raider Nation. Injury woes, a slow development curve, the tendency to rely purely on his monstrous physical gifts rather than refining his technique against NFL-caliber linemen. But listen closely, because this is where the plot thickens. Tyrie Wilson himself, in a candid admission that speaks volumes about his character, has acknowledged the undeniable truth. This is his make-or-break year. "Man, this is the biggest year," Wilson declared, the weight of expectation undoubtedly heavy on his shoulders, but also a newfound determination in his voice. "I feel like it's no pressure. It's just feel like I got my feet under me. My teammates are counting on me and the team's counting on me, so yeah, that's a big year." This isn't just talk, Raider Nation. This is a battle for his future in the silver and black, a fight for that coveted fifth-year option on his rookie contract. He knows it, we know it, and his fellow defensive linemen, like Adam Butler, are seeing the change. Butler noted that Wilson has been trying some new things and really being intentional about his work. Wilson isn't content to be just a power guy anymore. He's working on his technique, on becoming more versatile, on adding those counter moves that turn a raw talent into an unblockable force. With Max Crosby and Malcolm Kuntz holding down the starting spots, Wilson's development isn't just about his career. It's about providing that crucial depth and rotation that can elevate our entire defensive line from formidable to absolutely terrifying. The stage is set for Tyrie Wilson. Will he finally unleash the beast and become the Raider legend we drafted him to be? Or will the pressure be too much? The answer to that question will define not only his career, but could also open the door to a truly shocking, unbelievable development from an unexpected, almost forgotten figure from our past. We're going to discuss a complex and controversial news story from the world of the NFL, involving former Las Vegas Raiders wide receiver Henry Ruggs III. Years after the tragic 2021 incident that ended his career, Ruggs has broken his silence with a statement that raises profound questions about justice, rehabilitation, and an athlete's future. Let's analyze the facts. At a recent Hope for Prisoners event, for which he was temporarily released from prison, Henry Ruggs spoke publicly for the first time about the fatal crash. He expressed deep remorse for the incident, which resulted in the death of a young woman and her dog. In his own words, he said, "I wish I could turn back the hands of time. I would love for them to meet the real Henry Ruggs, and not the one that was escaping from something." He also acknowledged the constant pain his image in the media causes the victim's family, an important point in his statement of remorse. However, the part of the interview that generated the most debate was his answer regarding a potential return to the NFL. When asked if he would be interested in playing again, Ruggs affirmed that he would, and he specifically mentioned his former team. "I would love to play again, and what better place to do it than where I started," he said, citing the fact that he was the team's first ever draft pick in Las Vegas. This statement opens up an unprecedented discussion for the NFL and the public. Ruggs is eligible for parole next summer, and if it is granted, the league will face the decision of whether or not to reinstate a player convicted of such a serious crime. This leads us to complex ethical questions. Is a prison sentence served enough to warrant a second professional chance on such a visible platform? How can the league balance the concept of an individual's rehabilitation with the due respect for the victim's memory and the message it sends to the public? This is a case that goes beyond statistics and contracts. It's about how an organization like the NFL handles the off-field actions of its players and its role in rehabilitation versus exemplary punishment. The decision the league makes, should Ruggs be released, will set an important precedent for the future. This is a delicate subject with many emotional and ethical layers, and there are no easy answers. We would like to know your opinion on this topic. Please leave your thoughts in the comments in a constructive and respectful manner. If you're interested in in-depth analysis of the world behind the sport, consider subscribing to the channel. The question that remains is, what path should the NFL take when faced with a situation like this?